Hey all, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about Raynaud's. Now, Raynaud's is where the small vessels in your hands, feet, well, it could be throughout your body, depending on how severe it is, they pretty much spasm out. And your hands or feet, wherever, can turn red, white, and blue. As patriotic as that sounds, it doesn't feel patriotic at all. That I promise you. Sorry about my Christmas background on my TV, I haven't changed it. For anybody that knows me, I'm addicted to Christmas and Hallmark Christmas movies, so it kind of just sits there for a while until I feel okay enough to take it off. But I wanted to first discuss what Raynaud's looks like. Now, do not attempt this at home. I am going to stick my hands in cold water in a minute, but if you can tell, my hands already are affected by Raynaud's. You can see the red, the white, and right on this finger, it's like a black and blue line that goes straight down the middle finger. My hands are extremely swollen, which is really hard to deal with. Sometimes, because it's only about 39 degrees here right now, so it's not really too bad. But when it gets to like negatives, sub-zero, zero, I get black and blue all around my eyes. Now, every doctor will tell you there are many ways to control this. You don't have to have scleroderma to get this. Raynaud's is very common, very common. My youngest son has it. I have it. My mom has it. Half my family have it. They don't have other autoimmune, or if they do, they have RA. It doesn't always pair up with autoimmune. You know, Raynaud's phenomenon is the name of it, and it really depends on genetics, depends on many things, but this is just a short, breakdown of it. So it's the small vessels that pretty much spaz out in your body. What mine does is if I'm out in the severe cold, now I emphasize that I don't always wear the proper attire when you go outside. I don't think many people do, and that's when I actually have my worst attacks. When I come inside from being in the cold, my hands are like on fire. It's like I've been hanging out at the equator and decided to come back to Antarctica and keep going back and forth. Like, if you go from extreme cold and now you're going into the normal warmth of your house, which normally I wear a coat right now, but I'm just trying to show you what Raynaud's looks like on my hands throughout the day, not for a big attack. But my hands turn dark red, and it burns like no other. And it's the little vessels spasming out. They can't equalize. That's the problem. It doesn't go to normal. Like healthy people, their body can adjust normally, for the most part, to go into different temperatures. We cannot, but everyone's different. Some people have this severely, some people have this mildly. I mean, people have had it, you get it for your whole life. I don't even think you can get rid of Raynaud's. I think it's more or less controlling it. Now, what I do is keeping warm is the best thing to do. Best thing to do. My doctor always told me to make sure your core is warm. That's where a lot of your heat, your heart's there, everything's there. If you keep that warm, your body actually warms up pretty fast. So when I go outside when it's severely cold, I make sure I wear a vest. I wear a long sleeve underneath the vest, and I wear my coat. I always wear my scarf because my neck is freaking freezing. But I did want to show you guys my array of stuff I have going on for my hands to keep it nice and soft, because I don't want digital ulcers in my hand, which is, from the blood vessels. You're not getting the circulation to your hand is what's happening. You want the blood flow. You want it to keep going, and warmth is what helps the blood flow. It is absolutely necessary. And making sure your hands are moisturized. You have to have the softness to it. You need to make sure it's completely good, because when ulcers start forming, it ain't pretty. And sometimes, no matter what you do and treat your skin, it's not going to matter. If it's inevitable, it's inevitable. But keeping warm is the major thing. Now, what I normally use are, a lot of people don't know they have these. They're toe warmers. They usually call them toasty toes, which is my favorite phrase. But you can put them in your boots, shoes, slippers, you're at home. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, the toes and the hot hands are similar to me. Even though the toe one feels actually better in your boot, and in my eyes, works better. But you have your hand warmers. Now, the hand warmers I put in hats if I'm outside and it keeps me warm. They warm up quick, and they sometimes can be really hot. I also like to use them when I have like a stomach ache and I can't find my heating pad. I put them right on my stomach. Works great. But keeping yourself warm is necessary. And it's not just about keeping yourself warm when you're outside. You have got to do it inside because many of us do get cold inside. So I use my cabin socks. Cabin socks are light and fluffy, all inside. I mean, some of them have wool, some of them have, the sheep fluffy fake stuff. I don't know what they are, that is. But what I normally do is wear a normal pair of socks and then put those on because they keep my feet very warm. And it's completely necessary because winter is our enemy. So when you're out there, outside, please make sure you dress for the weather. A lot of people don't like to because they don't want to bundle up looking like the kid from A Christmas Story and he can't put his arms down. But to have better circulation and to protect yourself from digital ulcers, gangrene, and losing your fingers or toes, it is absolutely necessary because I don't want anybody needing to have to get surgery. And I know Raynaud's does pair with other diseases like scleroderma, lupus, RA, and many other ones. But you have to keep yourself warm. That is the main point of it. Raynaud's is your vessels are spasming out and you're not getting the blood flow to it. And the major way to get blood flow is staying warm. It says that through every doctor's office you go to, everything online that you read, you have to stay warm. So dress for the weather. Especially people like us, we have to make sure we dress extremely warm. I mean, if you get hot, take off the hot hands. Or, take off the scarf. And, you don't want to overheat because I have small fiber neuropathy and overheating. I have to find an equal balance. And when I do get too warm, I'm now in extreme nerve pain inside my ribs and all of that. And I haven't found an equal balance with that. But it's gotten way better with my Raynaud's keeping myself warm. You can also use a channel blocker. Channel blocker does help open the vessels. It does help circulation. That's for cases when all else has failed. Like when you get an ulcer and all that from Raynaud's or you're having a bad time, you can be prescribed prednisone for about 10 days, I believe they do. And, they gradually take you down from like 20 milligrams and you just keep gradually going down. But it also lowers your immune system. So when you're in cold and flu and all that season, you are risking, for people that do take an autoimmune suppressant, you're weakening your system more. So if you do have bad Raynaud's and you do get ulcers often, talk to your doctor about a channel blocker. Tell them that you want to be able to protect yourself and you want to prevent what none of us want. Because, ulcers, I think I actually have a couple that are healing. You probably won't be able to see it because it's way too bright in here. But on my thumb, there is one on my pointer. And that one's healing. What I did was I used Working Hands O'Keeffe's. A lot of people told me to try this, and I did. And it does work great. What you want to do is you want to find also, if you have extremely cracked hands, you want to find something without parabens in it. Parabens dry your hands out. That's why if you use a lot of creams and moisturizers and stuff and it doesn't work, it's because they have stuff in it to dry out your hands. If you want to do raw coconut oil and, real shea butter, you don't want, to get a hand cream like from Bath and Body Works if you're having, winter dry skin and use their lotions and creams because they're full of parabens. Most of them are. They do have a natural section. But I also, on a normal daily basis, use Burt's Bees Almond and Milk hand cream. It's a little oily, given what's in it. So I use it at nighttime and I put gloves over my hands to try to keep it moisturized. My right hand with Raynaud's is actually pretty bad. So, I literally am just getting over about 3 ulcers. 2 on my thumb, 1 on my pointer. So it's hard. Especially like, say I'm thinking, I'm just going to carry in groceries. I don't need my gloves. Yep, that's how it started. So if you have Raynaud's, if it's severe or even moderate, get a channel blocker. If you're trying really hard, make sure everybody has to stay warm. Please stay warm. We have to get our blood circulating through our body, and that's a big part of it. And our vessels are spasming out. So there is things that you can do to help you. Like there is paraffin wax. There is so many great reviews on that. I have not tried it yet. I'm actually looking into, I don't know what machine to get. There's so many of them. Even Conair came out with one. That's not even that expensive, but I don't know how well it is, so I got to look that up. But I just want to give a brief summary of what Raynaud's is and what has worked for me. Hot hands is a necessary thing. You know what I do? When everything's on clearance at the end of the season, for the next season, I stock up. I don't like to pay full price. I'm a single mom. I don't have money like that. So I actually do stock up for everything. Like, I get all the cabin socks when they're on clearance. I get all the hot hands and toasty toes. And, let's see, I have an electric blanket. I use my heating pad for heat, too. It all depends if you're inside or outside. But make sure you have a proper jacket. Most jackets are not proper for the winter, especially if you live upstate New York like I do. So you want to get a puffy jacket. You want to make sure it's actually lined with not that, normal fabric they have in there. You want actually something that's going to keep you warm. Scarves, godsend ever since I used it. I've noticed since I've been using scarves for the last couple of years, I've had a lot less problems with my Raynaud's because I'm trying to keep my whole body warm. Warmth is everything. And I know we all battle so much with this. And the pain. When you get digital ulcers, the pain, and when you have kids and you're trying to take care of them, you're trying to make dinner, and if you even lightly knock into a digital ulcer, and whatever problem you have with Raynaud's, it is extremely painful. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. Some people just have, mild Raynaud's where, they just go outside and, yeah, they turn red, white, and blue when they come inside. But blue, it means you're losing oxygen. This might be a common illness, but it can be very serious. You might end up needing surgery, vascular surgery, which I've done before. And it isn't fun to recover from, I'll tell you that much. And it is severe. People are like, oh, you'll be fine, just warm up. But it's a lot more to it. It's not just outside, it's also inside. And when you take a hot shower and then you go into your bathroom and it's cold, anything can trigger it. But please talk to your doctor. Don't be like, oh, it'll be fine, and wait until something bad happens. If you do get a digital ulcer, there is medical honey. Get that. I've used it. It's awesome. I'm actually ordering another one that I'll post and let you guys know how that is, because I'm sure I'll get another ulcer eventually. But you guys get a hold of wound care. Wound care is the first place I go to, and my primary made me go there the first time I had one, and they took care of me instantly. They caught it before it became an infection, which is great because you don't want an infection. That takes months and months. I know people that have had the same ulcer for a year. Like, you don't want that. You don't. And I just want to show people what helps me. And I went down a lot in ulcers. This year was actually not that bad for ulcers. Yes, it was painful. When you knock into it, it sucks. Can't lie about that. I'm sure people that are watching this can totally relate. But please stay warm. And I know it's easier said than done because if you're rushing outside to go do something like 5 minutes, 5 minutes can mess up your Raynaud's. Your body temperature is going down, your vessels are spazzing out, and you need to make sure you take care of yourself. Because if you're not around, then no one else is around for your family that you normally take care of on a daily basis. And that's the one thing my doctor told me, is he understood that I always take care of my kids. They always come first. But because of that, I've almost died a few times. And he goes, Heather, not for nothing. If you die, who's going to take care of your kids? No one, right? He's like, so you need to take care of yourself. You need to put yourself first sometimes, especially when it comes to your autoimmune. And you need to do what's best for you because that means it's best for your kids. And he's absolutely right. So ever since he said that to me, it put a lot in perspective. So I know people think that, I'm just hopping into the car. Or, I'm just home that, I'll just be fine. It could be mild cold, can set it off. It's ridiculous how Raynaud's is. So please stay warm. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget, if you like my videos, just click on subscribe down below and click on the like button, press on the bell, and click all to get all my videos. Have a good day all. God bless and stay safe.